Welcome back to the Breakroom. With the please clap. With the WGA and SAG strikes rolling on, new rumors of big schedule delays mean Captain America: Brave New World could be our only MCU movie of 2024.
Knock on wood.
Which seems insane. And if we can't have it now, can we play a little game of what if?
But that's season 2. Now, should we get? Never mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
A little game of what if season 2 as we go through all the rumors for the next Captain America film. This would be Captain America 4, folks.
It's a juicy roster of rumors.
Oh, thank God he said juicy. Oh, thank God he said juicy. It was just the way he said it. It was the
It was coming. We're going to get into all of it. I'm Brandon Barrick. Who cares? Sitting next to me, we got Zach Huddleston.
Aloha. He's back.
He's back. On the other side of me, we got John Costa.
I'm back.
Hey. And Jay Washington's back.
I'm here. Yeah. You see, I'm on strike.
Yeah, that's
Clap,
right.
Jay.
Clap,
Oh
Jay.
yeah. Sorry.
Jay's on strike, SAG's on strike, the WGA's on strike. You know, we say this all the time, but as we go through the content we normally cover, we're aware of the strikes going on. You know, we definitely stand in solidarity with the writers and the actors.
We appreciate you.
We want them to get everything that they deserve. And the coverage we do here on the channel, you know, SAG seems cool with it for now. We're doing our editorializing. We're doing our reviews. That's what we're here. None of the studios are paying us. So we're going to keep on doing the content.
I mean, I've been picking it in front of the damn studios that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're going to have a little camera like, hey, this you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm calling 4K on drones. They're like, so this you? So you trying to you got an audition? No, this you? No, we don't think you got an audition anymore. Like,
they're watching. They're always watching. We do want to issue a little small spoiler warning for today's episode. As we talk about these rumors for Captain America 4, while things often change with these movies through reshoots and last-minute edits and all that great stuff, the things we're going to talk about today, you know, they could actually be considered spoilers if they do happen to come true.
And we're mostly talking about rumors, not
These are
leaks.
rumors, yeah.
Right?
Rumors.
There's not like set photos or anything like that
Yes.
that we're sneaking in on you. These
think-
are just kind of things that have already circulated in the press in different ways.
There have been some set photos that came out, mainly of like Harrison Ford.
These were released by Disney.
Yeah, they put them out on their Twitter, right? We saw a little bit change to the Sam Wilson suit, right? It's a little different now.
I haven't
There
seen a
was
new
stuff.
change to suit.
It's a little different.
And there were some leaked set. Leaked is if you're walking around in public, it's not.
But
really
they were
leaked.
not.
And one of them was of
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins' Cobra character.
right.
We're going to talk about him
Which
in a minute.
they've confirmed that sense, haven't they?
I don't think they've confirmed the character, but they have confirmed the
that
actor.
is in the movie. Yeah.
Oh, they made sure they confirmed it because it was on a Monday, and Monday Night Raw was coming up that same evening.
yeah.
Probably.
And they made sure to say it every time he was on screen.
Yeah, Seth the Cobra trending on X. That's something. We also just want to mention that these are rumors, like we said, and nothing has been confirmed. A lot of these rumors get debunked, folks. We definitely know that. So take everything we say today with a grain of salt. But if we wind up spoiling something for you, too bad. I'm just going to read straight from the prompter here. John, you're the most disgusting of all of us, rolling around in the filthy rumor mill.
That's right.
Do you want to walk us through these rumors?
Those are two separate sentences. John, you're the most disgusting of us all. Also, John, you roll around in the rumor mill.
John, did you write this?
I did write this.
John, I'm worried about you.
I know.
You know, if you put it in the prompter.
I know.
I swear to God, this felt like a Ron Burgundy situation. If you put it in the prompter, he's going to read it.
I did not pre-read the script today. When that rolled up on the teleprompter, I was like, here we go. Someone's either really mad at John or he's in his feelings. I don't know.
You know, I've been on the show so much this week, I felt like I had to take myself down a peg.
Don't worry, they're doing that in the chat.
Yeah. All right, so first things first, we're going to go through some of the characters that are going to be in this movie, starting with the people we know about, right? Obviously, Captain America Sam Wilson is going to be in this film. Falcon, a.k.a. Joaquin Torres, is going to be in it.
Can we have a new language for, like, when we say Captain America, just so you're not thinking of Steve Rogers, do we have to say Captain America Sam Wilson?
No, I
It's
think
tough because the comics do this all the time, right?
Yeah, but I think to give the credence to the character, just call him Captain America.
Right.
Sure.
Because I think if we always got to say Captain America Steve Rogers and try to differentiate them, it feels like it's just not putting them on the same level. We know they're not. You know, we know Steve has the super soldier serum. Sam's a black dude that's dealing with a lot.
Yeah.
You know, let's be real. That's what we saw in Falcon and Winter Soldier. He's a black dude.
dealing with a lot.
He drives the hell out of a boat. We know
the hell out of
that.
a boat.
He can trip with the best of them.
You know,
but-
he stripped the bubble.
Fucking loan to
His
save his
sister's
life.
his sister's about to bone Bucky.
Yeah,
He's really
yeah.
fucked up about that.
Yeah.
So I think just saying we know anybody that's trying to discern, be like, well, is it Steve Rogers? No. Captain America is Sam Wilson.
I like that.
Plain and simple.
the title.
I like
and Falcon, we won't call him like Falcon Jr. or Falcon 2 or anything
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
Falcon.
Now that he's Joaquin Torres,
He's
just the
officially Falcon.
title.
Will you remind me too, at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, was there a moment when Joaquin Torres was like, I'm the Falcon now?
But it was definitely like, hey, you want these wings?
You want these wings? He gave him the
to him,
wings.
right?
He
Give
gave him
him
the
a bunch
wings.
of crap.
I was just making sure we hadn't like envisioned that ourselves.
But it's just like both Cap and the Falcon are flying
Right,
around
right.
together. So
Yeah.
he gave him like, here, I don't need this one anymore. You can have this.
yeah, you can have.
But we've
this
never
one.
seen him fly or
He
do
hasn't
anything
flown
like
yet.
that.
No, we haven't seen him suited up.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, a couple more people who are going to be in this movie. Thunderbolt Ross,
With a hoop earring.
and one of the rumors, yeah, that's right, going to be now played by Harrison Ford. One of the rumors for Ross is that he's going to be Red Hulk, right? We've been speculating about that for forever. The rumor that I was reading was basically saying like, and they're not even going to shy away from that in the marketing of the film. It's going to be
That'll be in the
kind of front
trailer or
and center. It's going to be in the
whatever.
trailer.
Not a
It's going to be on the
surprise.
poster, whatever it is.
Can you say that again so people don't be hollering in comments? Why would they spoil it?
I mean, you know, I don't know. Maybe you do.
Well, I mean,
consider it.
famously, in the trailer for Thor Ragnarok,
when they showed the big
they
Hulk.
put Hulk
from
in
work.
there, right? Like, so it might be also like, you know, maybe they're worried that people don't want to show up for a Sam Wilson Captain America movie, but when they see there's a giant red Hulk, they'll be like, I'm in? I don't know.
So what Zach is saying, ladies and gentlemen, Dashiell, thank you, sir. So what Zach is saying is, you won't show up for one person of color, but you'll show up for the other.
yeah,
As long
you
as
gotta
that
be red.
color is neon red.
It's neon red you're showing up for. Because, I mean, it sounds like I'm joking, and there's some people like, oh, here go people making it about race, but let's just be realistic. There are some people who do not want to see it because Sam Wilson is a black dude, and they only want Steve Rogers. So I think that is a smart marketing tool, which sucks it has to be that
And
way.
maybe,
Prince in right here.
Jesus
but
Christ.
yeah, dude. But then again, both the Black Panther movies made $1 gazillion.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
maybe that's totally off base, and they don't need to do that either.
And I hope studios are learning this lesson. Barbie's in theaters right now. It's historically studios don't make big movies that have women as protagonists.
and maybe they'll-
Shouts out to my homegirl, Alexandra Shipp. I love you, Alex.
And maybe also like they'll put Red Hulk in the trailer just because like they know they can't keep that a secret.
Right, of course.
Right? Like who cares? Maybe he's gonna be Red Hulk 80% of the movie anyways.
I hope he runs for president as Red Hulk.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna.
Taxes
The weird thing about the end of Secret Invasion was Ritson is still the president.
right.
Yeah.
So,
We all assumed he'd be killed at the
and
end.
there was
I
like
was
a one-off
praying for his
line-
death in that.
I was too.
And there was just that one-off random line that was like, "You're a one-term president."
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, okay. Some other folks that are confirmed to be in this movie: Liv Tyler's coming back as Betty Ross.
Yes.
Tim Blake Nelson is coming back as the leader.
Two of the actors from the Ed Norton Incredible Hulk. Yeah.
And the leader, they're saying that one of the rumors there is that the big-headedness of the leader
Big ass head.
and I guess maybe greenness of the leader, who knows what we'll see in the movie, is going to be all done practical effects, practical makeup. I'm sure there'll be some CGI
Sure,
touch-ups
yeah, of course.
or whatever,
To make
but
Robin
no, he's not going to be a CG character, which is exciting. I think that's going to be really cool. We also have Carl Lumley coming back as
Yeah.
Isaiah Bradley. I wonder if we'll get Elijah Bradley in this
Yeah.
as well.
But is he older? I mean, like he would be only, according to the timeline, he'd only be, if anything, a year older.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
he was
if there's-
16, 17 in Falcon
Was
Winter
he
Soldier, something like
16,
that.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying like Spider-Man's like, you know,
He's just graduating high school, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's
high
true.
school. And even in like Across the Spider-Verse, I know it's not technically like proper MCU,
Yeah.
but like he's like 15 in that.
Yeah,
you
you're
forget,
right.
and they bring it up in the movie, and you're like, wait, well, 15? This is not cool. This is
you're
a
right,
kid.
you're right.
He's just a kid.
And then the last character that's confirmed to be in this movie is Sabra. And my notes on this character didn't make it into the teleprompter. So
I agree. Sabra, the brand of a delicious hummus.
Yeah,
Really,
that's
really good
Company.
hummus. Really good.
There's also an Israeli super heroine from
That's
the
right,
comics.
in the comics. And Sabra's going to be played by Shira Haas in this movie. And so the big change that they're making is she was working for the Israeli CIA.
Mossad.
The Mossad.
The Mossad.
In the comics, but it seems like in this movie she's going to be working for the CIA. She's going to be working probably for Val, right? Who's the director of the CIA.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
We talk about who Sabra is. Like in the comics, she's a mutant.
She's a mutant.
That's right. That's right. And again, part of these rumors was, these rumors are so stupid sometimes. The rumor was, I never said she wasn't going to be a mutant. So like,
That was the director quoted as saying that?
No, that was a rumor person.
And like,
someone was like, is she going to be a mutant?
We were talking before the show. Like her mutant powers are very much like super soldier serum-esque. And this cast of characters they've aligned, if you remember, the Incredible Hulk is all about remaking the super soldier serum. In the MCU, the Hulk's creation is tied to the super soldier serum. It's not just the gamma radiation.
It's the super
more,
soldier serum. Yep.
And like, Tim Blake Nelson as the leader, he gets a little juice in his head.
But his juice is only from basically Banner's blood. He doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think he know in Incredible Hulk. He doesn't know anything about the super soldier serum.
Sure. But the Banner's blood is messed up because of like the serum test. And like Betty Ross was working on those. She was helping to develop the serum as well. It was like Thunderbolt's Ross' whole obsession was like recreating this stuff because we need it. And now we know from like the Flag Smashers and stuff, it's all over the place.
Yes. Yeah, and the Power Broker.
We'll get into that in a minute.
She's a rumored member of this, maybe.
Yeah.
And we all know why it doesn't work, right? Why the super soldier. There's one important thing missing that we forget from
Vita rays.
Vita rays.
Vita rays. You've got to have the Vita rays.
You've got to have Vita rays. That was the one thing.
Why don't they just go back and watch the movie?
They should go back and watch the movie.
Watch the tape.
They should have asked Peggy Carter before she died, like, hey, what are we missing here? She's like, you're missing the Vita rays. The Vita rays. Steve. Man, they did her dirty with that old lady makeup.
No.
Go back and look at her again. It looks a little.
I mean, look, let me just be honest. Have you not seen an older white woman when she ages? Listen, it's kind of on point.
It doesn't always go well.
Helen Mirren's doing great.
It doesn't always go.
Helen Mirren has money.
You tell me Peggy Carter doesn't got money?
Yeah, I would.
Her niece is the power broker.
It doesn't
She's
matter. Let me
loaded.
tell you something. Helen Mirren came to me right now. She'd be getting this work. Okay, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother show.
Come on the show, Helen Mirren.
Be a
Let's
red
find
drink,
out.
goddamn.
You coward. Come on the show.
He is a coward. All right, moving right along. So those are the characters that we know are going to be in the movie.
Yes.
These are confirmed characters, but there's a whole slate of rumored characters. So again, spoiler caps on. The most sort of obvious of the rumored characters is Julia Louis-Dreyfus's Val character.
Currently director of the CIA.
Currently the director of the CIA, again, tying into Sabra and even Thunderbolt Ross and all that kind of stuff.
Ex-wife of Everett Ross.
Yeah, so that's like, and Thunderbolt Ross and Everett Ross, no relation. They just have the same last name.
Sure.
But still.
Thunderbolt Ross, Betty Ross. Relation.
Not relations, relation.
And we now know at some point Everett Ross, right? He's busted out of jail or confinement.
And now he's busted out
by
of
the
a fracking pod.
Wakandans and somehow gets caught by the Skrulls and put into a fracking pod.
Poor guy.
And is now free from that. Asks a roadie who just woke up, how long were you
you
been
been
there
there?
for? He would have no idea. So he's clearly a fucking idiot. And so, he's running around doing whatever. So, yeah, the most interesting thing about Val is like making her head of the CIA is so crazy because like previously she was this unknown position in the government, right? Black ops, who knows what she is. But now she's like in a very public-facing role. Someone who can be like pulled in front of Congress, like ask questions. She had to get confirmed into that position.
Quick question about how public-facing she is. Can you name the current head of the CIA?
It's Richard.
It's Dick. Is what it is? No, I think what it is, Val is the Marvel Studios equivalent to Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
She's the Amanda Waller.
Or even like quasi-evil Nick Fury,
That's
right?
yes,
the mover and the shaker
But even
behind
like
the
Nick
scenes.
I don't know. I watched Secret Invasion, and I'm not sure Nick Fury isn't quite.
He's lost a step. He's missed a step.
Okay, so
He's old.
we already talked. Seth Rollins is going to be playing Cobra.
WWE's Seth Rollins.
That's right. Everyone here but me is a big fan.
Monday Night Messiah.
It's not that I'm
Shouts
not.
out to Tyler Black.
never
Okay,
seen
I
it.
appreciate you more so then. We go back to our IWA Mid-South days.
Heavyweight champ.
And then speaking of Cobra, rumors are we're going to get the Serpent Society.
So wasn't the original subtitle of
Civil
War was Serpent Society.
I believe
It was Captain America's Serpent Society.
But then obviously that was nowhere near the plot of this, but the Serpent Society is this group of like all snake themed bad guys.
Diamondback,
and Cobra and every kind of different.
Which we got in Luke Cage, which was terrible.
Right. Yeah, Cottonmouth and all those, a bunch of Luke Cage characters.
Which was crazy. We got the Serpent Society, remember names, in Luke Cage, and they weren't the things. Now, Diamondback had his costume from the comics, and everybody was like, let's never do this again. Let's never do
People
this.
always want those like comic accurate costumes, and they do it.
They are not going to go that direction with these characters. I'm almost guaranteeing. Like, this is like giant snake hood, green person kind of
this
stuff.
does feel like all tactical armor, and maybe it looks a little scaly.
So maybe I would love a world. This is the MCU, right? A world where like aliens came through the sky, half the population was wiped out for 5 years. I want people to like this. This makes sense as like a Gotham City more thing to me, where like people have lost their damn minds and they're like, I'm a villain and I'm fully snake themed and I'm gonna go because this world's crazy.
We saw in She-Hulk. We got a couple of those weirdos.
The Frogman, Leapfrog.
Low letter, the lower level bad guys. Well, and you know, we were talking a little bit before we started recording that, especially the Captain America films have a great history with George St. Pierre being Batroc the Leaper, of like using kind of real combat sports folks to kind of come in and not just be even, not that Frank Grillo is an athlete or anything like that, but he has the energy of an MMA dude.
He's got a Ken Shamrock type feel to him.
I can see him being like an opening match during that. I was
gonna say,
put him in there.
He's a dark match guy.
Frank Grillo versus Dolph Lundgren or something like that feels right. Yeah.
So speaking of the Serpent Society, we also heard Diamondback is going to be one of the members. It's not a surprise, but that was what was stated, so I'm telling all of you.
Okay.
We're also hearing that the Serpent Society uses biotech for their powers, and we're going to meet the person who supplies them with the biotech in the Ironheart show. Who that person is, Jay has a theory.
Well, no, I don't. It's just Layla Taylor. She's a love interest of Sam Wilson in the comics. But here's the thing. Also, now you just said Ironheart. When does that drop? Supposedly that's done. That's a series that is supposedly done already.
They showed footage at D23 about a year ago from now, almost a year ago exactly.
It's not
August or September.
It's not slated.
They have not
set a date.
And if that shows
for like now,
right? Well, if that show's done or almost done, then Agatha Coven of Chaos should also be done or almost
Agatha
done.
is done because one of my buddies is back. The guy who played Norm, his comic buddy of mine, Asif Ali. So Agatha is done. Agatha's done, Ironheart is done, but again, they're not slated. Agatha's slated, isn't she?
No release date.
The rumors were early 2024, I believe, right? Yeah.
That
might have been delayed.
Someone
now,
said even it could be the end of this year, but
so those two. So mainly, Ironheart has to come out before Captain America because, I mean, because COVID messed everything up first and foremost. COVID is the reason all this stuff is all over the place. So the order we would get things to see them how they should come out, be like, oh, this feeds into this feeds into that. If you get Captain America first, then Ironheart, because remember, you're like, who the hell is Layla Taylor? Then all of a sudden now you're like, oh, that's her from this. Would you rather have Ironheart come out first or second? Does it matter?
I just want something to come out.
Well, and to the point that you made, Black Widow and Falcon and Winter Soldier got flip-flopped.
They got flipped.
And the consequence of that was Val's introduction was slightly different. We were going to see her first in Black Widow, but instead we saw a lot more of her in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Because WandaVision wasn't supposed to be the first show release.
Yeah.
That's right. I do want to issue a slight correction.
Do it.
Lila Taylor is a different character from the Ironheart thing.
Oh, okay.
It's a separate. We're getting to her next. But on the biotech stuff.
Oh, that's my apologies.
Yeah, no, it's okay. On the don't do it again. On the biotech stuff, I guess
I'm not comfortable. I'm so sorry, Doctor. I never make a mistake. I'm sorry, Doctor.
I'm now uncomfortable.
Are you doing Little Shop?
Yes, I am. I'm glad you know exactly what I'm doing.
I know. Well, Little Shop.
Suddenly, John Costa is standing beside me.
Never seen that movie or watched the play.
It's not a play. It's
musical, whatever. Who gives a shit?
Whoa, sorry, Howard.
Speaking of biotech for their powers, I guess Cobra's gonna have a grill. And the grill has like fangs.
No.
Stop. That's the rumor.
No.
That's the rumor.
Give Seth Rollins a grill gun.
So that's very like riffraff to give like a white dude with long hair a grill. Like that's very.
Have you seen people in Houston? No, it ain't. It'll work. It'll work.
And then the last one of our rumors characters, Lila Taylor, which in the comics is a love interest of Sam Wilson. So you think that will probably be a plotline in this movie at some point.
Sam got to get laid too.
And is she?
Let that man get
Is she
laid
also
already.
a government agent or a hero of some kind? Or
I could have done background research on this character, and I did not do it.
I would rather her be a regular person.
Yeah.
Because I think we always see these different love interests, and they somehow connect through somehow in part of the story. If a regular girl just catches Sam's attention while he jogging, and she tell him on your left, now all of a sudden he stopped running.
He's like flying over her as she walks home from work. He's like, I followed you.
So
home.
what you trying to say? He stalks her like Cyborg,
I mean,
old girl.
If they follow poor Sam Wilson's trajectory, she'll probably be cheating on him or something like that.
Yeah, this is true.
Poor man can't even get
no
a
sad Sam.
loyal-
No sad Sam.
This is a
It's already sad, Sam.
He's like, I had to pay for the suit myself. I can't even get my expense check from the government. Like, this is crazy. They charged me. I crashed through that window and they billed me for it. They billed me for going through that window.
That's, deserved it.
I got to put a down payment on this shield. I can't even keep
I
this
can't
shit.
do nothing.
Stop crashing through windows. So I got a couple questions before we move on to some of the plot stuff.
Hit me.
A lot. We alluded to this earlier. A lot of characters from The Incredible Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But there's some people missing, right? Like the
Bruce.
Hulk.
Banner.
Bruce Banner,
Jennifer
Walters,
Yeah.
Abomination. Do we get some of those characters? What you said earlier, and is apparently true. This movie's also going to set up the World War Hulk movie. We saw Scar at the end of She-Hulk. What do we like? How do these characters fit in this movie, or do they just not?
Well, the long time reasoning why Marvel never did a Hulk solo movie and they just kind of slipped him into Avengers and Thor was like they didn't technically have the rights.
Do they have it now?
They do, just very recently.
They had the production rights.
Universal made the Ang Lee Hulk movie way back in the day, and then they also made the Incredible Hulk Ed Norton movie, though that was kind of canonized within MCU.
Well, so I believe the way it worked was they had the production rights to the film, but Universal had the distribution rights.
That's right.
So they had no interest in making a Hulk movie because Universal's going to make all the money.
And Universal held on to those rights, I think, until 2022
Very
or
recent.
so. Pretty recent.
That's why I didn't know it was
They
there.
just
We
lapsed.
just got stuff.
And so-
we just got Incredible Hulk on Disney Plus.
Back in
People were
June.
sort of saying like, ooh, maybe this is the timeline.
And a lot of this is not public. They don't necessarily say this out loud because it's just like contracts and backroom stuff. But
And there's still like a weird element of it to parks, where Universal in Orlando has like a whole section of the park that's Marvel characters.
Yes.
But they are losing that very soon. They have like a Spider-Man
this is
ride.
Islands of Adventure.
Yeah,
in
and like a Hulk
Orlando.
coaster, which are
Oh,
going
I
to
didn't
have
know
to
that.
get like changed.
There was
in the
also
next
that
couple years.
rumor because Disney, I don't know if this ever made it to the parks. You can speak on this better than I can, but there was a Hulk character.
Yeah.
And it was in the Endgame time travel suit.
Yeah.
And people were speculating that
yeah,
that was
at Disney's
augmenting
Adventure.
the character
They
enough
built-
that they could show that version of the character.
Their
in the park.
version, not
Rather
the
because
torn up purple paint.
Because it's
All
a
you see is,
face,
like, green eyes,
You see
but-
green eyes in the suit. Yeah, I seen that
Funny.
recently.
Well, and so like the speculation was they could never make a solo movie, but they could use the character in other ways, so that's why they squeezed him into other people's projects. But that has lapsed.
Yep.
Now these movies take years and years and years to plan and pre-production and production, everything like that. So maybe this is setting up for them to give him a solo movie.
But I think we've gone so far with the way they've used the Hulk that we wouldn't get a World War Hulk. I mean, when they did Planet Hulk, when they basically fused it into Thor Ragnarok, they found a better way to do it,
Yeah.
right? Instead of having to just say, this is a giant movie with just all Hulks. Because everybody knows, as much as people complain about CGI everything, that's what a World War Hulk movie is.
Yeah.
It's just a CGI smorgasbord. But I think you have this be World War Hulk. Because you also can introduce totally awesome Hulk. Amadeus Cho. You can have these different Hulks around the world because that was the Hulk. Amadeus Cho was the Hulk that they had the rights they could do, and everybody was thinking they would end up using him because I didn't know about the Universal deal finally lapsing. So it's like they couldn't do the Incredible Hulk, but they could do Totally Awesome. So I don't think you'll get a World War Hulk fully thing. Like if you get a small Disney Plus special presentation, because again, movies and sometimes even too long of a series don't do well. With special presentations, we've seen now are the way to go.
I think a Hulk story too, where Hulk is in the MCU, where he's under control, is less exciting, right? What the good meat and drama of like a Hulk story is Bruce does not have control, and he doesn't want to hurt people, and he doesn't want to cause destruction, but he can't control the Hulk, right? And like if you have a smart Hulk who's can change whenever he wants and it's fine, like it's not a big deal, like it's not that much story. Now, if they're gonna go with this movie and you're gonna have Thunderbolt Ross and they're trying to promote that, a fun third act kind of climax to the movie is that like Betty's like, I called in a couple of friends, and then because Sam Wilson can't fight the Hulk, Thunderbolt Ross, especially if he's not on the Super Soldier Serum, which he's still not as far as we know.
Get on the gas, Sam. Get on the gas.
Like, I've called in a couple of friends, and then like Hulk shows up, She-Hulk shows up, Scar's there with his bad hairline, looking rough, and you have like a little family fight, and that'll be a lot of fun.
And you know what? That's a really good point. And
they don't spoil that.
One of the rumors that we're about to get to, it may suggest that as a possibility. But before we get into the plot points of this movie, we want to thank some of the folks that help us bring you
Specifically, we want to shout out our friends at Gord. We're fans of gaming here on the Breakroom. Brandon's a big gamer. John loves to sometimes stream games, as he did yesterday with the Spider-Man game.
That's right.
Come on over. And we're excited to check out this new game, Gord. You might have seen us promote the game on our Witcher content on the new Rockstars channel. Gord is a game kind of similar to Witcher in that it's set in Slavic lore.
Yeah.
It includes former Frostpunk and The Witcher 3 developers were the folks that worked on it. With a single-player dark fantasy strategy game where to survive, you must build. But to prevail, you must conquer the darkness beyond the gates. That's how I live my life. Always trying to conquer
You never
the
go
darkness
beyond
the gates.
Whoa.
Lead the people of the tribe of the dawn as they venture deep into forbidden lands, complete life-threatening quests in this dark fantasy world, while managing a populace whose personal stories and well-being can decide the fate of your tribe. We've worked with the Gord folks for a while. They actually sent us this fun care package. Did you guys show this already on the
we
channel?
open it up. There's like a weird
Yep,
Ouija
I just
board.
stepped away from
There's
it.
a candle.
Tommy hasn't been in lately. He's had a curse.
I don't know what this thing is, but it's related to Gordon. I think it'll summon the devil. They sent us a bunch of candles, which is fun.
When I made eggs the other morning, every egg I cracked, it was just full of black yolk and hair.
I'm not even going to look at it.
Very strange.
Let me know when you're done with it so I can turn around, because I'm not looking
All
at
right,
it.
you can turn around.
So check
The
out.
box is gone, but the devil remains.
There'll be a link in this video's description to check out the Gord.
It's
game.
out today. Today is the release
today's
date
the day?
of Gord.
Check it
You
out.
can get it on PC, on Steam. It's on Xbox X
PlayStation
and
5.
S.
Couple
and
folks
PlayStation 5.
on staff. I don't know how to game.
No, he doesn't.
I stopped at Snake on my flip phone.
What are you doing? You're the best Marvel Snap player.
Okay, that's
in the-
true. And
Whoa.
I am an infinite on Marvel Snap,
Well,
but
just because you neglect your family doesn't make you a better gamer than me.
But I will say, a couple folks at New Rockstars have already played like some early versions of Gord and were raving about it. They loved it. So just throwing that out there.
I love that. Also, hey, like Zach mentioned, a couple of us are going to go see Ahsoka tonight. After we have to jet after this episode of the Breakroom. And if you are excited about Ahsoka or just a Star Wars nerd like we are, nerdriot.shop has some new Star Wars apparel, including a shirt that Zach is wearing, a shirt that Brandon is holding, and a shirt that I'm wearing.
And they're fun because they're different styles of shirts that we normally release. I'm wearing a 3/4 sleeve baseball shirt, and then this is like a football style shirt with the kind of the extra panels and the wide striped sleeves. You could get those at nerdriot.shop.
Yeah, so we've got a bunch of these cool like faux sports teams, and then we're also releasing.
Also, there's going to be some stuff around Ahsoka.
More of our normal. Ahsoka stuff. So let's get into circling back to Captain America 4. Let's get into the plot of the film. So here's some rumors, Jay. So the rumor is that the film centers around the.
You can't even read what you wrote.
You're really throwing me off.
Oh, don't blame me. Learn to read, John. God damn it. John wrote this in like the film circle.
I know. I wrote this in like 15 minutes. We had a busy day today.
You filthy little dirty boy.
This
Rolling around that dirty
dirty whore. The film is about the super soldier serum and its potential, and it sounds like words got out that Tiamat is made of either adamantium or somehow contains adamantium, and Ross, the Serpent Society, and foreign governments are trying to claim the island as their own.
Yeah, so Zach, you brought up a good point before we started taping, which is like anytime that there's like a volcanic eruption in the Pacific or whatever it is, certain governments will be like, that's our land.
Yeah, I mean, this happens, right? New islands do occasionally pop up in the world.
The Earth is alive.
Where there's something that wasn't there before. And like, I mean, this is sad, real life stuff. Like, if there is another world war, it will probably be over like islands in the Pacific. Possibly. Japan and Korea and China like fighting over like tiny islands draws us all into more conflict. So like this is very much rooted in reality.
Yeah, and so we don't know if Tiamat is made out of adamantium or if just there happens to be adamantium on Tiamat Island. But that's sort of like the rumor of how we're going to get adamantium in the MCU and what this film is circled around. And I guess my question is a little bit like, how is it about both the super soldier serum and adamantium? Maybe adamantium, they've found a second workaround to getting the super soldier serum to work, but they already have the blue stuff. I don't know.
I mean, Celestials have goo inside them, right? They're not just metal, right? There are guts, right? Like nowhere is not just a metal planet, right?
It's a living being.
Yeah, so like maybe some of the goo inside the Celestial.
Well, but Cersei did like transfigure all of Tiamat into a new material.
So maybe that is the process of it becoming adamantium.
And maybe that's the thing too. Like, okay, if we can't get the super soldier, there's this thing in the ocean, right? Maybe this thing is what this is. It looks like a face. Maybe there could be something inside of it. Let's mine it. I guarantee you, it probably won't be called adamantium right away because that'll give it away too easy. It might not be called adamantium until the third act of the film, because then that can set up. Okay, here we go, mutants thing and everything else. So that's. I mean, like I think both can play because adamantium. This metal is indestructible. We thought it was something. Well, that's vibranium. No, this is harder than vibranium.
Right. And there's thousands of tons of it. Right? Like
yeah, so
whoever huge wealth of
whoever owns the island owns, you know.
Yes. Well, remember, Wakanda has a meteorite that's its entire mountain of vibranium.
Right.
So now you have a fucking land island chain.
Well, and Wakanda forever showed us that like all the countries are a little bit specious about Wakanda. They're like, we were glad you guys finally came clean about existing, but we don't trust you at all. And like it seemed like all of the countries were like kind of united against them. So this race to the island could even be like, we just need to make sure we get there before like Wakanda gets there, because we have to have something. If Wakanda decides like they want to take over the world, like I don't think any of us can stop them. We need to have something.
Ooh, I just thought about something. You just brought up Wakanda Forever. Does this introduce the Talokan citizens? Because remember, vibranium is not only above.
Right, they have some down below.
It's down below.
And they're in all the oceans. This giant guy just popped up out of their home turf.
Well, we thought that was going to be a thing in Wakanda Forever, right?
We thought it was a snap.
Part of the reason the Talokans were coming up was because, like, hey, what just popped up out of the core of the earth?
Hey, whose man's is this down
Whose man is this?
Whose man's is this?
Who did this? Also, does anyone know about the Eternals? Do you think anyone knows about the Eternals?
Well, there were people in London who saw the Celestial.
Sure, but they don't know about the Eternals, right?
Maybe they don't know about
They just think like, oh, this thing in the sky took 3 people out of a park.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Well, I mean, now you see in Super. I think the thing is too, when it comes to Eternals, they are characters of lore, as even the movie was telling us.
Sure, yeah.
They're characters of lore, so. You know, Icarus flying too close to the sun, that tracks. You know what I'm saying? There's these great warriors and whatnot, plus what the world itself is now. The world itself has superheroes. So seeing somebody fly in the sky now is like, man, that ain't shit but Tony. He be all right.
I mean, I guess people will be like, where's Kingo? Why isn't he making any more movies? Where's my next Kingo joint?
But then that goes into the different, sorry to cut you off, Tony.
No.
But then that connects into the potential of different universes. What universe, what world is this?
Here he goes.
Yes.
Here he goes.
Because again, your next thing
Someone
you're going to say.
stop him.
Because again, we talk about She-Hulk potentially being in this, Jennifer Walter. Bruce. Her world seems completely different from the MCU at large, even though Bruce is in it. What if there's a Bruce in every world? Again, there's parallel universes have everybody in the same thing. It's just different ways. So what type of Bruce will we see? Will we see the Bruce that does have no control?
Right.
Will we see the Bruce that has the inhibitor? Will we see the Bruce that's can just, I'm going to go back to being Smart Hulk because this is what I need to do? It varies.
Yeah.
These are questions you have to ask, John.
I think it's interesting. You can see the through line from Wakanda Forever to this film in that the government was sending that probe down to the ocean to try to collect the vibranium because they were distrustful of Wakanda and sort of like jealous that they were keeping all the vibranium for themselves. So this is just a continuation of that program. You imagine, and Val is the person who's sort of pushing to get all this vibranium.
Well, and I like this potential. Like, if the plot is like Thunderbolt Ross as Red Hulk, and maybe she's got soldiers with him or the U.S. government or whatever, right? The Serpent Society maybe is like kind of like a Hydra-esque bad guy crew, and then Sam and a new squad of Avengers,
right?
And you have like a fun like maybe three-way or more-way battle, right, between all these different people clashing over this same thing.
And one of the movies that's following this, relatively soon is Thunderbolts. I love the idea that maybe Val is using the Serpent Society as like a Thunderbolts 1.0, and they fail. And
it's like the beginning of Suicide Squad.
Right, yeah.
Those first guys that landed at the beach
that
got wiped out. Yeah.
Okay, so a couple more
And a three-way
things.
is always fun. Go ahead.
You're right. A couple, not always.
Whoa. You've not only done three ways, you've done enough to know that they're not always
fun.
Not always. So there are some other, we've talked about all of these characters. We went through a big list. There's rumors that Cap 4 is going to serve, as like a sort of a mini Avengers movie, similar to how Civil War had basically every Avenger in it. And it had Thunderbolt Ross, including a plot point that like, this is how we get the new Avengers team. We've been saying for forever, like, well, who the fuck are the Avengers at all? And so the plot here is that it'll be Sam, Captain America, putting together this team rather than Fury, who's fucked off into space or whatever. So he's using this like, oh shit, Thunderbolt Ross is going to get this adamantium, we have to stop him plot to put together a new team of Avengers, and maybe that's where, we get that I'm calling in a couple of my friends type of thing that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I love that. And that's maybe how the movie ends, with like kind of a new Avengers assembled.
Well, you'd think so. The rumor is that he's assembling it to stop Ross. So I feel like that would be like an end of Act 2 thing, and then you get some fun cameos for Act 3 so that they can defeat him, but I don't know, maybe it is a post-credit.
Let me ask a question, and I'm sitting there, I'm not trying to mock you while I'm sitting there laying things out in my head. This sounds like it becomes so convoluted then.
I don't disagree.
Because again, we know
it's a lot of characters.
It's a lot of characters. Like Civil War, it was a mini Avengers movie for what it was. It was the taking sides in the Sokovia Accords. So you got that 12, 14 people because of what it was. Cool. But now, unless the Serpent Society is, like we were saying earlier, just a very, very small little point.
I think they're like a first act.
They're very small, because maybe we might be making this big deal about the Serpent Society, and they're a small point. Maybe at some point Ross is trying to do something. Val says, I have an idea. I've been working with somebody. Introduces the leader. Who's this dude with this big ass head? I can make you stronger. Boom. It's the Hulk. Now he thinks we got him under control. Now he goes crazy. That's Act 2. Act 3, now you have Sam trying to recruit people. But here becomes the question. Who does he recruit?
I'm so glad you said that, because that's my next question is like, do we get Rhodey, who has been in this fracking pod for a long time, but is probably being briefed that, of all the fucked up shit that he's done, or can he slip into being Ritzen's right-hand man again and try to take things down from the
Is Ritson still president at the beginning?
Is Ross president almost close to this time, or is he still just general?
I don't know.
Or Secretary of Defense, excuse me.
So those are it's like Rhodey, Bruce, and then
and we are assuming that anybody that's in the Thunderbolts will not also be in the Avengers, right? So no Bucky, no Yelena, yeah.
Ghost. So that takes away the Young Avengers element that everybody thought it was going to be with Yelena, Kate, the twins.
And they're not Young Avengers, they're just Avengers. They're the age of the Avengers at this point. By the time this
but you know what I mean. Like,
New Avengers is maybe a more appropriate.
Yeah, New Avengers is more appropriate.
And not to get into rumors about another film, but I'm going to do it anyways. The rumors for Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars is that Kang Dynasty will sort of be the Young Avengers movie, and Secret Wars will be the Everyone movie.
Yeah.
And apparently Spider-Man is sort of the leader of that Kang Dynasty group. But anyways, who do you want? Who should be on this team, this new Avengers team?
So it's Falcon, of course.
Yeah.
It's Rhodey. It's Cap, Falcon. He's got to have him. Does Sabra stay CIA or does she help out? Wanda is technically dead, so you can't deal with her.
Yeah, I think you were right on the money with like Rhodey, right? He would still go on. He would be the Iron Man, right? If you think about it, like kind of filling in the spots you need.
Do that mapping.
So who's your Thor?
You could Thor.
I mean, is Valkyrie showing up or no?
Yeah, you could maybe Valkyrie could do it.
I mean, she's technically on Earth in New Asgard. She's the Kingdom New Asgard.
And she's got something to defend now that Ritson is like every fucking alien.
Yeah,
She
good
has
point.
a reason to engage. She was a little out of it in Love and
You
Thunder.
can have Wong show up. He's the Sorcerer
But
Supreme.
does Madison show up with
Yeah,
a
of
Y,
course.
not an I, but not where you think?
She takes notes.
Okay,
She's
so
there.
so Wong is your Strange, even though because Strange is off with Clea.
Yeah, he's
in the Dark Dimension. So
He didn't tell anyone he left. He
just was like, all right, I gotta go. So now you've got Rhodey, Cap, Falcon, Valkyrie, potentially Wong.
Wong, yeah. I mean, like
Hulk?
Does Shang-Chi factor into this at all?
He would be smart to have
Simu, come on the show and talk
We've
about
been
it.
asking Simu to come on the show for a long time, but I keep starting to feel like, again, my multiversal theory, Shang-Chi's in a whole nother world. Because I'm telling he was in San Francisco and they never once mentioned Ant-Man.
But that post-credit scene, we saw Bruce and Wong, right?
Look, those three, that was
You
what
can have
was weird.
them in multiple.
You can have them in multiple universes. And Carol Danvers?
Do we get somebody from the Marvels? Does Miss Marvel?
Oh, that'd be fun.
Show
Or, I mean, Monica would be a great
Yeah,
addition as well.
But so would Kamala.
Yeah. But again, it's like, is she for that younger group? Are they
Okay, so that'd
splitting
be the case
them?
then you do Monica Rambeau. Cool, but it's now are we trying to put, see the thing too is with a team up, how many Avengers are we trying to put together to take down this Hulk? Are we trying to have a massive team or do we need just a small little handful? Because even if you got 5, you still got Avengers, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You
There's
don't have
just
to have
6 of them, right?
It's 6. 5 or 6 you got the Avengers. You don't need to have 9 or 10 because we're going through looking at different movies and TV shows. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're trying to add these different people. And again, that's when I think we talk about, like we just brought up earlier, it gets way too convoluted with way too many characters. Like, yes, Captain America movies have served now. The benchmark is Civil War. They are now mini Avengers movies. But, like, how far do you want to go with this
Well,
one?
and if you go back one Captain America movie from that, Winter Soldier did not have a lot of superpowered beings in it, right? It was mostly a Steve, Bucky,
Espionage movie.
Natasha.
yes.
movie.
And I'm glad you bring that up because was it the post-credit scene of that movie where Steve does the little bit of a tease of Avengers Assemble where they're at the Avengers?
No, that was Ant-Man. That was Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
That was at the end of Age of Ultron.
That was Age of Ultron.
I can see us getting something similar to that, where it's like, okay, we maybe get a couple of
It's not till the end of the
a couple of
movie.
people who help out for the third act of this movie, but it's not until the end of the movie where we get the full lineup,
And then
the full shot.
What do we think is the connection or the differentiation between this movie and another movie that might come out in 2024, might get delayed beyond that, and Thunderbolts, right? Like, there is a natural connection there between Thunderbolt Ross, as that is like the titular Thunderbolt and the Thunderbolts. Obviously, Val is rumored to be heavily involved. She's been assembling a group for quite a while that we think is the Thunderbolts. Like, how are the Thunderbolts showing up in this movie? Is Sam showing up in the Thunderbolts?
Probably you'd think there's got to be, right? And I think that like you can start to draw lines from the Disney Plus shows to and previous movies to some of these future things, right? Like Secret Invasion seems like it'll kind of intersect with the Marvels in a way, but also seems like it might intersect with this movie and Armor Wars and Thunderbolts. So, people are frustrated with Marvel storytelling right now, but I think now we did a lot of homework and we're now going to sort of get the long form storytelling that we're kind of used to.
You know who else is still out there? White Vision. Which
Yeah.
I hate to say it that way, but White,
Now his rumored show is
Vision Quest.
shelved.
Now it could be
announced.
shelved. It has not. It has not started filming.
It was never slated anyway.
The shows that were not ever on like a Kevin Feige presentation that have started filming, I believe, are just Wonder Man.
I thought it was just in pre. I didn't know it was.
No, it was.
They were trying to
filming, and I
Oh,
remember the WGA strike.
The early days of the
shut them
WGA
down a couple times.
strike. Yeah.
And there's another one. I can't remember exactly what it is, but you know, oh well.
Yeah, there's so many people because of so much that's going on, and like you said, Vision Quest is a thing that, like I just didn't know that before you said it. It's potentially shelved, right? So you still have White Vision out here without a show now. Right, him trying to reclaim who he is, because after talking to Vision and having this conversation, he's like, "Oh, I actually am somebody." Like Jesse Jackson talked to him later. But again, all these people together, this movie becomes so long, and it gets to the point where some people are gonna be like so mad if everybody that you kind of want to see doesn't have a significant purpose in this. Because again, you go to Thunderbolts. What's the point unless you just say Ross is captured? He's not killed. He's just captured, put in the raft. He's in the Abomination's no longer in the raft because he got escaped at the end of. No, because freaking She-Hulk went to Shang-Chi.
Abomination is back in jail.
He's back in jail now?
At the end of She-Hulk.
He's back in jail. Okay, so now what happens with that? Do you need Abomination to catch him as well?
Or he was just at the compound, right? His little.
He was often doing his retreat.
Yeah.
But wellness retreat, right?
See, there's so much. Oh my God.
It's a lot of moving parts.
It's in a different universe.
I think
I need to pay attention to.
What I think the tie from like Cap 4 to Thunderbolts is that like, you know, the government wants to have their team. That was the whole point of.
No, Wong broke Abomination out at the end. Huh? He broke him because he broke him out to set him up to start training in Shang-Chi. That's what it is. Yes. Because remember, Shang-Chi came out first, and then She-Hulk. Yes, Wong breaks Abomination out at the very end of the post-credit scene of She-Hulk. He breaks him out.
No, he breaks him out way before that.
He broke him out again.
Oh.
He breaks him out again.
We'll check the tapes.
We'll check the tapes.
That's right. Where the tapes?
You know, with U.S. Agent John Walker, right, they were trying to be like, this is like, we own this Captain America. Yes, Captain America was a member of the military, and he did what the government said for a while, and then he went rogue, right? Civil War. That was like, okay, we have the super soldier serum, we made a guy, this is the guy. And like, if they want an Avengers team going forward, they want one that they control. And like, that's what Thunderbolts is gonna be, right? It's that kind of Dark Avengers-esque thing where it's like, we're gonna make them look like the Avengers, but they're gonna do all the Black Ops stuff that we want them to do. And they're gonna keep things in check. And they're gonna be fully controlled by us, and we're gonna do that by using these like more criminal elements of like the heroes.
John Walker's already batshit crazy after losing his only black friend.
Right, right.
He watched his only black friend get kicked to the crossroads, and then he took the super soldier serum and just lost
Smashed that dude's face in.
Literally.
Okay, one last thing before we go. This is a quote that we had reported on earlier, but I wanted to bring it up again because I saw it when I was doing research. This is from Anthony Mackie. He says, I've had about 4 costume fittings, and the round brown is looking delicious in the spandex, baby. I just wanted to bring that.
You just like that he said round
back
brown?
to the surface because it is a
We're just doing
spectacular.
round browns out
It
here.
is a spectacular quote.
Yeah.
Now, do you think four fittings mean just like, oh, they made an adjustment, they brought him back in for a fitting, or do you think that means 4 different costumes?
Who knows?
That's a good question.
I think it's probably just.
Maybe he's gonna have a montage.
I think he gets the old one, and they probably keep doing it. I think they do like one different one that has this. I want a new look, and he changed it, and that's one. And he's probably just had to refit it.
He has to go bother the Wakandans to get a new suit.
Steve got a new look in each one of the movies, so I feel like it'd be very appropriate.
I mean, there were some set photos.
Can you loosen it up in the crotch? I need room to breathe.
That's, I think, maybe what the.
Yeah.
what
We
the
got
real
to
answer
have
is.
the space down here, baby.
Can you do? I gotta say, Tommy and I did a mid-popular episode of Riz or Fizz, where we looked at different outfits of characters. I gotta say, I like the Falcon was a pretty good costume. I don't like speaking of 3/4 sleeve.
Yeah.
I didn't like the kind of mid-short sleeve kind of look.
It doesn't make
You know what I mean? I don't like it when
either.
they have, like, that's also, I feel like there have been some Hawkeye looks that are kind of like that too. I like either give me a full sleeve or a short sleeve. I don't like it when it's a
you
weird.
want no
What do you do about Tank?
cut
Yeah.
offs. Hawkeye rocked a
Hawkeye
cut
was
off.
doing-
Hawkeye did no sleeves.
did
Jeremy
a
Renner
vest,
was
just a
in
full
good
vest, no
shape.
sleeve.
I don't think it worked.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner was in good shape, but I don't know that it's good either. I think Thor pulls it off.
Yeah.
Thor can do
Yeah,
no
because he got
sleeves.
them big
but-
dumbass arms.
Yeah.
Steroids will help.
Yeah, but everybody else, it's like you could do long sleeves. You also, you don't want to be singeing your arm hairs or anything like that when you're getting in a firefight. You need coverage.
It's cold when you're
You
flying
need
up in the
coverage.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
You're chilly up there.
I just want to know who in the fuck seconds thinking about the arm hairs. Like, goddamn it, I just seem to do shit.
Well, if you're Hawkeye, you're pulling back the.
But he
bow,
has the thing.
He's got the guard. He does have a guard
on him.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Every archer ever that has some common sense has a guard on their arm for when they draw their bow back.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, aren't you mad that they changed it from New World Order?
Yeah.
NWO.
I mean, they have their
maybe-
reasons. I think they have good reasons for doing
Well,
it.
it's funny. New World Order has a lot of meanings, including 90s wrestling and weird conspiracy theory stuff. Brave New World also has a lot of pop culture. It was a famous book, famous sci-fi book, right?
Yes.
It doesn't seem like there's any connection from that book.
Well, Brave New World, Aldous Huxley wrote that book, much better than 1984, much more prescient to our current society. We are ruled not through totalitarianism, but through subversion and through being placated by our better nature. But the phrase Brave New World comes from Shakespeare, The Tempest. Miranda, upon seeing people coming to the island for the first time, is like, oh, what brave new world with such people in it. But she is unaware that these people coming to the island are not good.
Well, I just called it Captain America N-word, because that's what it seemed like it was supposed to be.
Holy
Yeah,
I do love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for dropping that knowledge on us there, Brandon. That was very timely. Like, this Brave New World with such people in it, she doesn't realize they're bad.
Right.
So could that be like, Brave New World of Serpent Society or Thunderbolts being presented as the good people, but actually they are bad people?
Could be. Or maybe everyone gets the super soldier serum and then nobody's a super soldier anymore.
Very
Everyone's just strong.
Incredibles of you.
Very incredible. Incredible. All right, that's it for today. Make sure to subscribe to the Breakroom channel here on YouTube and give us a follow on Twitch where we do these videos live.
And I want to say, if you're a normal YouTube watcher and you don't catch us live on Twitch, the videos are available video on demand, so you can watch the whole thing later and you can see even more than what you see on YouTube. Just throwing that out there.
Don't tell
Jay's butt.
Don't tell
Whoa! The round brown?
Brown.
You know what? That was a good callback. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're out. Bye, YouTube.
Later, skaters. Bye.